Totally agreed. And building on what you said, Joseph, you are in a position that you are the one helping to define the future of a new city. And I love your concept of cognitive cities. And it's the first time we talk about, we at RMA, we have developed the concept, we are calling the model Neuro Smart City, that I think smart cities evolved from a very binary relation that was just sales. I have a solution, you have a problem. Then we created this matrix that was working really well before the pandemic. When we changed what we had as constants and changed it completely, we understood that cities are probably not a matrix, but they are neuro, right? The connections they will happen, doesn't matter if you want or not. And if there is a problem, cities will find solutions itself, the ecosystem. Cities are alive organisms. So yeah, how do you bring this? How you see now in your perspective, sitting in a place that you can see the big picture, you're connecting technologies to bring this outcome. How do you see?
Yeah, so I think one is that there's a recognition that there's three core fundamental capabilities that I think cities have to have, right? You fundamentally have to have the ability to connect things. That means when you go into a restaurant or you're outside going apart, you can't be looking for connectivity and trying to figure out where do I get it from, right? So you got to create an environment we call digital air. The second thing is you have to have compute capacity. That means when all these great apps, you can't go to your phone and have that thing keep spinning to figure out what's going on, right? And then the third thing is you have the ability to contextualize, meaning that when you get all that data, it's got to tell you something that makes you change your behavior, that gives you insight, right? It's either going to help you get to a place faster, or it's going to get you there on an ulterior route, but it has to generate value. And so when you think about where we've done, what we've focused on, technologies like IoT as an example for like smart parking, smart lighting, or machine vision technologies where we're looking at cameras to see what's happening in terms of traffic patterns and what's going on there, or even AI. All the technologies today have been focused on real time. You hear that word almost used synonymously. You know, we got to get to real time. We got to get to real time. What did COVID teach us? COVID taught us that real time is too late. The damage is already done. And so what that means is that if you want to go beyond real time and you want to get to cognitive, you want to get to predictive, proactive, the first thing you got to do is realize silos or isolation is the worst enemy of progress. What we've done in smart cities, we create these solutions, but we created them in silos, right? So you can see a POC happening there or a POC happening there, and you don't have the ability to exchange information. So you don't have an ability to actually create a system. And so that silo created major issues. The second thing is when we thought about connectivity in terms of real time, we always focused on, do you have certain features of functionality, what the speeds, what the feeds? But that's not it. It's about the experience. How many of you have been on a conference call lately in our new digital world? The number one word that you talk about is, are you on mute? You must say that about 1,000 times. That's not the experience. I talked earlier about my nephew Malcolm, right? You watch a 6-year-old kid trying to learn, teleeducation, trying to keep them occupied in that moment. These things are falling quite short. And so what we have to do is turn that on its head and realize that it is about the experience. And so we talk about technologies like metaverse technologies, blending the virtual with the real, and gamification and all those types of things coming in. But when you really ultimately get down to it, cities were built today around assets. They were built today around buildings, around roads, around cars. And what we're really seeing is the true cities of the future, the cognitive cities. That model has to be turned on its head. It's got to be built around you, citizens, you as a human, as a person. And that by definition requires us to have a completely new architecture that's built around sharing of information and the frictionless flow so that we can ultimately create the new experiences that we desire.